Okay, we're going to take a look at the mighty Enter Sandman, which taken from the Black Album from around about 1990-91 sort of period. This was the album that really launched Metallica from the kind of underground sort of metal-only scene into more contemporary territory, with them having chart success, which to some was great, and to a lot of the fans was a little bit disappointing, the fact they accused Metallica of selling out. But nonetheless, I was never particularly a Metallica fan when I was at school, but I got this album, and this was the album that made me appreciate the band and then want to listen to some of the older material. So this was a huge hit. This track's been covered and reproduced many times. I personally have taught this song countless times and played it many times as well. So I'm going to do my best to try and reproduce it as accurately as possible. With any track, the more you play it, the more you tend to put your own little signature on it. Anyway, there's several parts in this track, but the way that we're going to look at this, I've transcribed this in a kind of a single guitar fashion, so that even though there are other parts going on, we're just really looking at the main part from start to finish that will enable you to play from the beginning to the end, along with the backing track. Or in a band. I've played it in single guitar bands for years, so it is possible for you to be able to play this track on your own. Anyway, let's take a look at the clean introduction. I'm going to play it through for you first of all, and then we're going to break it down. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's a little clean chord figure. I've seen this being written out in many different ways, but to my mind, that G note is definitely an open G string. You can hear it on the record. It rings out throughout whilst the other notes of the riff are being played. For those of you that are regular users of Lick Library products, you'll notice that I am playing a different guitar today. This is my metal guitar. I've got 3 metal guitars in total, a couple of Music Mans for a change. Both of them are John Petrucci's, one 6-string, one 7-string, and I have an incredibly old Ibanez, which is pretty much 20 years old now, one of the really old ones from the late 80s, well, from around about 1988, but I thought if I brought that one in today and played that, you wouldn't be able to look at the screen because it's bright pink and green and all manner of strange colours. But I've opted for this guitar today just purely because it is really a hard rock metal guitar, whereas my regular guitar really works more for, you know, just sort of standard straight ahead rock. The pickups are slightly hotter. The whammy bar is a little more I wouldn't say versatile, but possibly more extreme. It's cut away at the back, so you can get some quite large sort of pull-ups on the bar. I've also got 24 frets on this guitar, and the way that it's been designed, I can, you know, get to those high register frets. I've gone to the middle setting on the pickup selector, which I believe, I'll probably get this wrong, so if you're interested, I'd have a look at the Music Man website or John Petrucci website. I'm sure it's the middle coils of both pickups, so you get a very nice shimmering kind of clean sort of sound, really lovely sound. Effects-wise, I'm using the standard preamp that we use here, valve preamp that we use here at Lick Library, but I've got my own pedal board, which I pretty much always bring for a few little extra sound effects, such as wah-wah. And today I've got a chorus pedal on there. I'm using my Super Chorus pedal, which is a Boss pedal. I've got another one at home. I've got an MXR one, but I don't know. It's with Boss, it does what it says on the tin. Basically, I'm a big fan of Boss pedals, and I've been using them since I was about 10 years old when I got my first effects pedals. If you can hear, if I play that little figure, now add the chorus onto it. It's adding almost like a little shimmering effect to it, and it's great on clean passages. I tend personally not to use the chorus pedal when using distortion because it makes it sound a bit too muddy and a bit slushy, but it's a great effect. So no expensive rack, delays or anything like that, just pedals, they do the job excellent. So let's have a look at the figure. We're going to play an open E, then we play the 7th fret of the A, and then the open G, then we play the 6th fret of the bottom E, and then we play the 5th fret of the bottom E, and then we play the 7th fret of the A string again. So. All of the tones blending into one another. Okay, that riff repeats, and there's some extra little additional guitar parts going underneath, just an E5 chord being played with some little wah-wah effects. Okay, once we finish that riff, we then enter into the first section of our heavy riff, and I'm going to play it through for you, and then we'll take a look. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'd kind of break the intro section into 3 separate riffs. We've got our first riff, which is literally just an open low E note being played with a downstroke rhythm. And then we're sliding between 5 and 7 on the E string. Then we introduce this next riff. And for that riff, we're playing the E, slide into the 7, then we play the tritone interval, the flat 5, which is B flat, on the 6th fret of the bottom E. So back to the E note, and then an F5 on the 1st fret of the bottom E, 3rd fret of the A. So put those 2 riffs together. Oh, incidentally, before I play, you should make sure that you accent on the and after 4. So you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Okay, it's very important. It's not being played bang on the 1. If you play on the 1, the riff will not sound right. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the next riff that follows, our 3rd riff of our intro, was for that we play the E5, slide into the 7th fret of the A string, 6th fret bottom E, 5th fret bottom E, and then the E note, and then the F5 chord. Okay, so I'm going to play those 3 riffs together now nice and slowly so you can practice along with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the main verse riff, which occurs pretty much throughout the track, a few little variations on it, and I'll play it through for you first of all. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Classic sounding riff, goes down in rock history as one of the riffs that got banned from many music shops. Starts off with the open E power chords, then we're going to catch the bottom E, slide into the 7th fret of the A, and then we play 6 and 5 on the bottom E, then a mute on the bottom E, then we have, which is G5, 3rd fret E, 5th fret A. Then we drop that down to F sharp 5. And then back. So it's F sharp, G5, F sharp, 5, E5. So you notice I'm really going for it on that palm muting. So if I come out of the other section, you get final riff. Here we go. Okay, now we're going to take a look at our verse riff. So I'm going to play through for you first of all, and then we'll take a look. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, starts off E5, heavily palm muted. Then the F5, 1st fret bottom E, 3rd fret A. Now G5, open E, F sharp 5, open E, F sharp 5, G5, F sharp 5, E. So nice and slowly. The final time we finish off on the F sharp note that leads us into our pre-chorus riff. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the pre-chorus and I'll play it through first of all. 1, 2, 3. Okay, with that riff you can hear that it's almost emulating the riff that we heard that introduction. It's being transposed up a tone though into the key of F sharp. So we're playing F sharp on the bottom E, F sharp on the D at the 4th fret, so 2 on the bottom E, 4 on the D, G, 2nd fret, 3rd fret A, 2nd fret A, 4th fret D. And the final time round, we just leave that F sharp note to ring for the whole beat instead of going back to the low F sharp. So 1, 2, 3. If I come out of the verse riff, 2, 3. Okay, let's take a look at the chorus now. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, starts off with the F sharp 5 chord, then this second fret E and fourth fret D, then play the third fret of the A, play that with a palm mute, and then a B5 chord, second fret A, fourth fret D. Finish that little riff cycle off with an E5, so slowly. Okay, at that point there's an overdubbed lead guitar line, which we are quite capable of playing as a single guitar arrangement. We play 5 on the D string to 7 on the A, 7 on the D, 7 on the A, 4 on the G, and then 5 on the D. So. And then we resolve to the F sharp note on the fourth fret of the D. So okay, then we're to the C note, back to the B5 chord, then the E5. Then we have this next little lead line, which is 4 on the D to 7 on the A, 5 on the D to 7 on the A, and then 5 on the D, 7 on the D and 7 on the A. So that's. Make sure you use palm muting for that as well, make it sound nice and aggressive and very tight. So chorus one more time slowly. Okay, then to finish off. Now that little riff at the end is just the G5, open E, F sharp, 5, E, F sharp, G, F sharp, E. And then we're back into the original, back into our original riff. Okay, we're going to take a look at the little riff that links our end of our chorus into our next verse. As I've already said, this is exactly the same as the main riff that we looked at the beginning of the track, but this time we've got a little lead break being played with some wah-wah. So I'm going to play it through for you and then we'll take a look. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, kind of a pretty straightforward sort of blues lick, but using the wah-wah pedal to give it a very vocal kind of feel. We start off by playing 12 on the G and the B, and we're bending that slightly. Play 14 on the D, and then 12 on the G and the B, and then 14 on the G and the B. So, and then we pull off 14 to 12. And when we do that, pull off to 12, play 14 on the D, and then we're back to 12 on the G, so... And then we play 14 on the G and the B, and gradually bend it up. And as we hit it, we're catching the G note on the top E at the 15th fret. So slowly with the wah, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the next verse. Now, I don't really have to talk you through this verse at all because it's exactly the same, but I'm just going to play through it up to the beginning of the chorus because there's one additional little blues wah-wah lick in there which I'd like you to hear being played in context. So I'll play through the verse with the little lick and then into the pre-chorus. Here we go. 1, 2, 3... Okay, very, very straightforward lick. Kirk Hammett, although he's a great rock metal guitar player, ex-Joe Satriani student, he's really inspired by Jimi Hendrix. He loves the blues. And that, a great example of how less is more. We're just basically playing around the E minor pentatonic, and by using the wah-wah, as we strike the notes and we bend them sharp, we just push the wah-wah pedal down, so that's... And then as we land on our final note of E, as we let the vibrato kick in, then we push the pedal down. So we're playing G at the 12th fret and B at the 12th fret. So one more time. Okay, it's a really cool technique to use the wah in that fashion.